If a child sleeps on his tummy, or if your child keeps his neck extended, he requires 2-3 pillows to sleep, or if your child has sudden nighttime awakenings. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Preeti Sharma. I am working as a consultant pediatric pulmonologist and sleep medicine specialist at Neo Clinic Children's Hospital, Jaipur. So today we are going to discuss about a very common but yet neglected problem which we face in our day-to-day life. So snoring. Does your child snores? What causes him to snore? Does it has any harmful effects on his health? How can we diagnose it? Is it causing any problem, or we are not we can neglect it further? And what treatment options we have to treat this problem? So we'll be dealing with all these questions, taking up all these questions one by one. So what causes snoring in a child? So, and what is actually snoring? Snoring is basically a harsh sound which is produced whenever there is any obstruction to the flow of air. As we all know, breathing is a very normal process. The airway, the air passage through which the child breathes in and out is normally patent, and it has no obstructions, so there is no sound is produced. Whenever the air has to pass through the narrowed pathway, it can be narrowed because of any cause. So if air has to pass through the narrowed passage, it will lead to the production of a harsh sound, especially in the upper airways, like from the nose till the back of our nose, nasopharyngeal region and throat. So if there is any significant obstruction in this area, it will lead to the production of a sound which we usually hear while the child is asleep and in the form of snoring. So what causes snoring in a child? So it is commonly found in the patients with the adenotonsillar hypertrophy. It is the most common cause in a child for snoring. Secondly, other child kids who are prone to snoring are those who are obese. They are also more prone to snoring. Child with the craniofacial abnormalities. If their child is having any structural problem, any problem which is causing any hindrance to the normal structures, which is causing any hindrance to the normal flow of air, like the kids with the Down syndrome, they can have snoring. Fourthly, the kids who have deviated nasal septum, they can have this problem. Snoring can be intermittent and can be continuous loud snoring which you hear while your child sleeps daily. Intermittent snoring is what we usually see when the child is having acute respiratory infections. Child may have nasal congestion, and that might lead to the snoring for few days, and that patient does not need further evaluation, but you should follow the patient. You should have regular checkup for the baby. Secondly, second are those kids who have snoring almost on the daily basis. They are loud snorers. Those kids they need further evaluation. So when we should think of evaluating for snoring, if your child is having any sleep issues, he has difficulty in falling asleep, if he is assuming different postures, like if a child sleeps prone, if a child sleeps on his tummy, or if your child keeps his neck extended, he requires 2-3 pillows to sleep, or if your child has sudden nighttime awakenings, if your child gets up in night suddenly and gasps for air or gasps for breath, then these are all the warning signs. Otherwise, if your child is having a problem of nocturnal enuresis, bedwetting, especially if he is more than 5 years old, then it is considered important to evaluate for snoring further. Snoring could be like habitual snoring also. Almost 3 to 12% of the kids, they snore regularly, but few of them, like 1 to 3% of them, they have associated apneas, like their breathing stops intermittent in night completely, and they have to change their posture. They have to, they require their sleep gets disturbed and they get up in night. These obstructive sleep apneas have further effect on a child's health. Your child may have only snoring. It might not be associated with obstructive sleep apneas. Still, there are studies which show that even the snoring alone or habitual snoring can lead to behavioral problems in your child. So that needs further evaluation. Now what else it can cause? If your child is having excessive daytime sleepiness, it is difficult for him to wake up. It is difficult to wake him in morning for school. If your child gets up thirsty in morning, or if your child's academic performance is declining day by day, then or your child is having difficulty in keeping with his peer group, he is having behavioral issues with the peer group, then you should get your child evaluated further. These all issues might be related with the snoring and obstructive sleep apneas the child is having for overnight. How we can diagnose that does that snoring is causing sleep apneas, or does the child is having any like sleep related other issues, sleep related breathing issues in night? The gold standard to diagnose this is sleep study. This is a very simple test which can be done at the hospital, and few of these probes and all are connected to the baby to record his during the night time, whenever the child stops breathing or whenever his brain gets activated, so we can grade how much problem is caused by that snoring. So to diagnose the OSAs or any sleep related breathing disorders, we should get a sleep study or a polysomnography done in the hospital setting. And treatment, how to treat our patients. For the treatment purpose, it is according to the reason which the child has. If the child is having adenotonsillectomy, we can grade the problem and we can proceed further on the medical or the surgical management. If the child is having any craniofacial issues, we will proceed with the treatment further according to the problem. So if you have any doubt regarding this topic, you can write to us in the comment box or the email ID given. I'll definitely try to revert and help you out in the best possible way. Thank you and Namaskar.